Welcome to our live interview with the writers from the Denton Record-Chronicle, powered in part by Classic of Denton. Well, good afternoon, everybody. We are live with one of the oracles of information herself, Miss Jenna Duncan of the Denton Record-Chronicle. We sit down every Monday with the writers from the DRC and talk Denton events, Denton business, Denton sports, all that good stuff. Today, we are talking with the oracle of business information herself, Jenna, about the rail yard project. So, Jenna, how are you?
I'm super. Okay, so to start to catch everybody up, rail yard might seem, you're like, what rail yard? Okay, so rail yard is a development that is right behind like the transit center on Hickory Street. Mm-hmm. So it's at 608 East Hickory Street, and it's a really cool building that has a bunch of different like space for businesses, but it's also the home of Stoke, which is our co-working space, our city-sponsored co-working space. So Stoke has been open for now a year. They just had their 1-year anniversary, and so the rest of the space around it is like all on the cusp of being filled and complete.
Sweet.
And so that's what I'm going to talk about. Stoke is about to have a lot of new neighbors. So first, and the one that I think people are most excited about is Spiral Diner, which is an all vegan restaurant that has a crazy following, like crazy. One woman that I talked to about it, she said she was on vacation like in Portland, and she said that she was from Denton, and what this person got from it was, oh, you guys are about to get a Spiral Diner. I'm so jealous. I wish I could eat there.
Awesome.
And that's the notoriety of it. So it started in Fort Worth in 2002 when there really wasn't a lot of vegan options around. The owner, Amy McNutt, told me that she started it because in California, she was used to all of these options when she was in college. And then she got here and everything was still so meat and dairy centered that she really couldn't go out and eat a meal. So she decided to start the restaurant. And so that expanded to Dallas and then now to us. So they're going to open sometime really soon, like in the next week or so, by the end of August. The way that they're going to do it, though, is like they are not doing an announcement for the opening day.
Okay.
As Amy said, they're going to Beyonce it. So they're just going to, yeah, I was like, that's the best way to describe it. So they're just going to post when they're open and be like, hey, we're open. They have all the components that they need to officially be a business, but it's just working out the kinks of making sure that all their supplies are coming in right. And everybody's trained and that like the ovens work and all of that kind of stuff. But they have the things that they officially need to be open, like the certificate of occupancy from the city.
Great.
So it's just when they're ready. So they're just going to Beyonce it, which I think is great.
Love it.
And what's cool about it is, so we have Mean Greens, which is the all vegan dining hall, but that's only open during the school year.
Right.
So this will be the first like year round, I guess, like
Very
all
cool.
vegan restaurant, and they make
Super cool.
everything in house. She's already hired about 50 people for one restaurant.
Wow.
Because everything is handmade from like their proteins. Like they have mock bacon and they have mock like brisket at one point, and
cool.
like all these different like meat replacements. And then they also make all of their like cheeses in house, and they make homemade ice cream, which is made with soy milk.
Wow.
And all of these crazy things. So this is going to be a big deal. Like she was telling me that for the past year and a half, 2 years, that on the weekends, their average wait time is 1.5 hours to 2 hours.
Whoa.
Which is crazy. But it's very diner focused, and it's like, it's meant to be approachable food, like an approachable way to have vegan food. Like, oh, I like having pancakes and sausage and bacon, and I like having BLTs and mac and cheese and all these kinds of things. So it's vegan takes on diner food, which
super cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited to try it. I think it'll be really cool. So that's going to be probably the first thing that we see opening in there. Then we have 2 more companies that are working on finishing out their spaces now. Have you heard of Upventure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but only because we've got an employee here that works with them when he's not working here. But that's the only reason I know about it.
Nice. So Upventure is basically like, I don't know, it's a social media network meets Yelp, but for the outdoors. Oh, and also meets like maybe almost like a Groupon where you can research outdoors activities. So like fishing and camping and hiking and rock climbing and things like that. And then you get access to all these reviews and tips and information for related stuff, as well as access to like connections to how you can do that. Like if you need to get like a park pass, or if you need to do like a specialized tour or run a boat to go fishing, like it's all through this website.
Super cool.
And so they were going to be in Frisco, but then we won them over. So they're working out. Yeah, so they're working out of Stoke right now while their space gets finished up, but they're up and running. The platform launched in the end of July. And so that's up and running, and I think that that's going to be a really cool like Denton tech business, because we always talk about tech and all these things, and then here it is, like a new network basically.
Super cool.
And then another tech-related business that's going in there, if you're sensing the theme that they were going for, is Cubos, which is our homegrown space satellite company. So they're off of Oak Street right now, near downtown, and then their space is getting finished out right now too. But basically they do open code, like coding, open source coding for satellites that like just go up into space.
Super cool.
Yeah, so they have like this whole platform and stuff, and it's like so over my head. Every time I talk to them, the owners are always so gracious with me because I'm just not science minded. I'm always like, explain it to me like you tell your children when you get home at the end of the day about what you did. I have the learning curve. But it's really cool, and it's integrated on a lot of platforms now. So now they have like this whole software system that they built and works with the satellites, and so their official permanent home will be like in that rail yard development too. So we should see all that stuff open in the coming months, like hopefully by the fall. Kind of depends with, because it's building out shell spaces, which is what takes so long. Like Spiral Diner spent like more than a year with getting this design down and figuring out everything, because it was just a total shell. Like, where do you put like all this stuff in the kitchen? Like, where do you want your counters to be? All of that, like what toilets do you want? So these spaces just take a little bit more time to like build out. So yeah, so that's the rail yard update. And then once those are open, it'll be completely leased out.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
very cool.
So
many cool things going on there.
I know. It's just such a good location too, because it has the tie-in with those apartments right there.
Right.
Then it's right by the train station. So that side of Bell Avenue is really starting to get some love. Yeah,
just exploding. Very, very, very cool. Well, that is your update on the Rail Yard project. Thank you all very much for tuning in on DentonRadio.com with the Oracle of Information herself, Miss Jenna Duncan. Again, we have folks from the DRC every Monday at 2. Talking Denton news, Denton entertainment, Denton business, Denton sports, all that good stuff. Make sure you always go to Denton Record-Chronicle for your news information, Denton's oldest news resource. You can also go to DentonRC.com, the newly renovated DentonRC.com, and get all the news from there as well. Thank you very much for being here, Jenna. We appreciate it.
Thank you, of course.
All right, we're going to jump back into the music. Thank you all very much for being here. We'll see you next week. Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.